All right, we are live. This is so exciting. Can everybody hear me that is hanging around in the background? Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming and jumping in. Awesome. Ashley, can you hear me okay? I want to make sure my audio is working good for everybody. Cool. Awesome. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Perfect. Erin, Alicia, I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to give everybody a couple of minutes to join us, and then we will get started. I'd love to know, while we're waiting on everyone to join, where are you joining from and what do you do? We'd love to learn more about you guys and get to know you a little bit as part of this. Awesome. Hi, Hannah. Cool. So I see a few more people jumping in. Awesome. New Jersey stager and designer. Amazing. Sydney, Australia. Welcome, welcome. Auckland, New Zealand, photographer. Great. Social media manager. Watercolor artist. Alicia, I wish I could do watercolor. That is an incredible talent. Huntsville, Alabama. Amazing. Oh, with Heidi Eleonora. Beautiful. Northern California, you're a writer. Canada. Auburn, Alabama. We have a couple Alabama folks. It's exciting. Beautiful. Hi from Canada. Hello, hello. Another Sydney, Edmonton. Amazing. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad all of you are here. Thank you so much for joining us. I know, depending on where you are in the world, happy evening. And if you're joining us from Sydney and New Zealand, I saw a couple of those. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. We're so thankful to have you here. Autumn from Vancouver, Boulder, Colorado. Amazing. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody a couple more minutes to join us. I know I want to make the best use of everybody's time, so I'm definitely mindful of that. But I want to give everybody a couple of minutes to jump in, and then we will get started talking all about media collections. Awesome, good deal. My team's telling me everything's working well, which is always a plus. Sometimes you just never know with tech. Even working in tech, sometimes it doesn't work out for you. So I'm always thankful for when sound and video work great. It's always a plus. Amazing. Good deal. Thank you, Allison. We so appreciate you. One thing you may or may not know about Plann is that we are 100% customer funded, which means that you guys are the reason that we get to get up and do what we do every day. And you're the reason that we get to build awesome things like a new media collection. And we get to do all this really fun stuff because of planners like you. And so we're so thankful. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate you guys showing up to events like this. Definitely want to hear a little more. We're going to have a question and answer toward the end where you guys can ask me questions, learn a little bit more about Plann, and also just get some advice maybe even on how to better use Plann, how to better use media collections. So we'll definitely make sure we save some time for that. I'd love to hear from you. If you've ever answered a survey in the product, if a little question box has popped up, those answers go directly to me, and I actually get to see more about the things that excite you about Plann, the things that maybe aren't working quite right and that we can improve on. And so I really appreciate when you guys contribute that as well. So thank you so much for your support of Plann and all the feedback too. Cool. So I say we go ahead and get started. We'll kick things off. And like I said, we'll have some time at the end for questions, but feel free to drop them in the chat. And my team will help kind of collect them for me so that I don't miss any of them. But we'll go ahead and kick things off. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second and just talk to you guys, and then we'll get rolling. So yeah, so my name's Lauren. I'm the head of product here with Plann, which means that my entire job is to build a product that you guys love and that helps you be successful on social media and across your marketing efforts as a whole. So whether you're building a business or a personal brand, maybe you're a blogger, a photographer, I saw staging and design and watercolor, we want to help you build a successful brand and a successful business across all your different marketing efforts, especially on social media. So one way that we do that is thinking about how can we support you with your media and with the content that you're creating every day. Whether you're shooting pictures of a finished product or whether maybe, you're working with clients and you're sharing testimonials, we want to make sure that you have a really powerful tool and a central location for all of that type of activity to happen. So one place that we've really focused on improving in Plann, and we've rolled out some recent upgrades. If you've been around for a while, you know that. If you're new, welcome. This will be kind of a good first pass on media collections. So I wanted to do a quick poll, and you guys, this will be my first time using polls, so bear with me if it doesn't quite work. But I wanted to learn a little bit more about who has used media collections before. So when you're in Plann, whether you're on the desktop version or the brand new media collections on the app, you can access all your media under the little media tab, and it's where you store all of your media into folders. So I just want to know, have you used them before? Some, maybe all the time, maybe you're a pro and you're trying to learn how to use them better. Just love to know. And give this a couple more seconds just for people to get their answers in, and then we will jump right into the product. Awesome. All right, so I am going to end this real quick. Amazing. So it looks like we have a lot of people who haven't had an opportunity to use media collections yet, which is fantastic. You are in the right place. We are going to take you through everything you need to know about media collections, and we'll help you get a better understanding of how to use them for your business. So perfect. Welcome. You are in the right place. Media collections are my love language. Greta, I am with you. Cool. So we are going to share our screen, and you guys hang tight with me for just 1 second. I am going to get my media collections pulled up. Okay, amazing. So let me do this. I'm actually going to pull my camera off here over to the side. So if you see me glancing, it's because I'm going to check in on you guys and make sure everything is working well. But can everybody see the media collections? It looks like it's sharing well. So awesome. We will jump right in. So I am going to actually take you guys through my personal account and my personal media collections, because I want you to see some real life examples of how to use them. Whether it's, a really visual approach, a more strategic approach, or a more business focused approach, I want to show you guys a couple different ways that we can think about it. So when you come into Plann, typically you're going to land on this Create tab right here, which is where you're familiar, you've seen it. It's where you can create your posts and stories. But if you toggle over to media, this is where you're going to get this amazing section of the product where you can start to add collections of media, right? Makes sense? So when you are thinking about pulling together all of your photos, your videos, all those amazing Canva graphics you're creating, or even just things like caption ideas and strategy prompts, this is where you can store them, because we all know there's nothing worse than having an amazing picture where you created that awesome Canva graphic, and then when it's time to post, you can't find it. It's buried in the downloads on your computer. It's somewhere on the camera gallery on your phone. If you're anything like me, it's just a mess. So having a place that you can collect them all and really easily come back to them and share them out is really important to being successful on social. So that's why we wanted to create this media collection for you. So I'll take you through the basics, and then we're going to dive into some of the deeper features around media. So it's really simple to get started. We actually go ahead and we give you a demo collection as part of what you encounter when you first come into Plann. So you have an example, but I'll actually take you through how to create a new one. So really simple. We're going to click Add a Collection. It's going to generate this new blank one with an untitled collection. And let's just call this one Getting Started, because that's what we're doing here, right? So we're going to call it Getting Started, and you'll see that it created a new folder for us. So from there, what we can do is begin to upload content. So I'll click this little upload button, and we'll get the traditional upload, which is going to be selecting photos or videos or graphics from your computer. You also can drag and drop everything about Plann. You know, there's usually a spot where you can drag and drop something in or drag and drop it around. You can also add media from other existing collections. So this might take a little bit to load because mine is chock full. But let's say I wanted to actually store a couple pieces of media in a couple different places. I could actually select from an existing collection here. I can upload from Dropbox, Google Photos, Google Drive. We have an incredible resource for free content. So if you're stuck on what to post, maybe you're not a content creator yourself, but you really want to have some incredible content to share, you can upload photos and videos. Oh, it's saying that my stuff is running slow. Awesome. Well, you guys know the drill. As soon as you start to show somebody, it's like taking your car to the mechanic, right? If it's making a funny noise, all of a sudden it'll quit making it. Let's see. All right. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to, oh, there it goes. Well, all right, cool. So it dipped on to free content for a second. Now it's uploading Canva. You can also add Canva graphics to your collections really easily from within that window. So if you haven't ever created with Canva from within Plann, you actually can do that as a content source. So you can create while you're in the zone, while you're creating your content and scheduling it. You can use Canva, and then you can store those graphics for later. So lots of awesome options for pulling in content so that you can plan it out for your social later. So I'm going to actually take an example of this wedding gallery. So let's pretend that I am a wedding photographer and I've already uploaded this gallery. This is going to be for Eleni's wedding, we'll call it. So we have all of this awesome content that we've uploaded. It's all ready to go. There's a couple of things that I will want to think about when I'm organizing my media. So you can tag your content so that you know how to come back to it later. So what it was for maybe, or some other important notes. So let's say I know that all of these images are formatted perfectly for Instagram posts. So I'm going to go ahead and tag this collection so I know, okay, yeah, I've already cropped all these. They're all ready to go. Or maybe I actually want to tag this as, you know, it's wedding photography. It's also, let's say this was a wedding in, I don't know, Canada. We have a few Canada folks here. So we could say, you know, we can tag it however makes the most sense for our personal organization. So the types of things you might want to come back to. Maybe this was an awesome, you know, there really aren't any people in this. This was an incredible, you know, behind the scenes gallery, right? Or details. I can tag it that way. So whether it's for the platform that it was intended for, maybe some other type of tagging system makes the most sense for you and your business, you can manage all of those here, add them to your collection, and then actually search by the tag that you need when you're trying to find your content. So really, really simple. You see those tags are populated here, and then you'll be able to search by those really quickly when you need to find that content again. Again, thinking about, we really want to make it simple for you to find it and not have it just be this massive bucket of content where you're not really sure where things are. We want to keep it separated and make it really simple for you. So that's one great way that you can organize your content. Another is to favorite your collections that you know you're going to come back to pretty frequently. We have this awesome sort feature right here so that, you know, let's say that this was, you know, a really important gallery for me, and maybe it got moved, you know, all the way down here, right? It gets kind of buried. We can then sort by favorite. It'll pull it straight to the top. You can also sort by a couple other ones. And again, you can search depending on the tag that you've assigned. One more really cool feature that I think makes it super simple to plan out your content is this collection note. So if I click on this right here, let's say I am a wedding photographer and I do need to keep up with who was the vendor team on this wedding. If you're a a clothing e-commerce store, or you are a we'll use the example that I saw, you're a staging company or you're a watercolor artist, you may need to think about, where was this staging job? Are there any particular things that I need to mention? Who did we get our rentals from, or things like that? A watercolor artist, you may want to talk about, you may want to remember, your process for that particular piece, or, details like that that would apply to everything in this gallery. You can upload these as notes right here. So let's say I want to keep up with, who did the cake, who was the florist on this wedding, the dress designer, etc. Right? You get the idea. I could fill in all of these with handles for each person. So at, cake designer, at flowers, whatever. You get the idea. You can add the handles or the notes that would apply to everything in this collection. Click save. And what this will do is it will take this and automatically add it to the caption on each of these images, so that when I'm ready to post this image of, the bride and her flowers, I can either just click edit, or I can even drag it over to my grid. And then when I go to edit it, let's see. My internet is running a little slow tonight, guys. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Let's get back to media. We're struggling just a little bit. Let's do this. All right, we are freezing up for some reason, but you get the idea. When you add these as your caption, they will automatically add, or if you add it as a note rather, it'll automatically add to the bottom of the caption of every single image in this collection, so that you don't have to remember all these details every time you go to post. So again, there's lots of different ways we can use it. This is just one example, but I would love to hear, if you guys have questions about this, feel free to start popping them into the chat. And we'll go through them toward the end. But that's going to be our new collection notes. And this is a brand new feature. So if you've been using Plann for a while, even if you are a master media collections person, this will be brand new for you and would be something that I would love for you guys to test out and use for your social strategy. So take some of the burden off, plan your content ahead of time, add those notes, and you'll be good as gold. So a couple of other ideas that are different ways that you can use your media collection. So media is the obvious one: photos, videos, graphics, like we talked about. But what if I don't really have media ready to go? Maybe I want to create captions, or I want to think about, some posts for the future, but I'm not quite ready to add media yet. There's a really easy way to use media collections in that way too. So I'm actually going to go back over to the create page, and we are going to do this. So let's say that I have a really funny caption, or I just know that, I want to talk about, I'm just going to put, this is my favorite caption, blah, 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 right? So I have this amazing quote that I want to share. Maybe it's a testimonial from a customer or a client. There's some post that I know I'm going to want to create in the future, but I don't quite have that picture ready yet. Maybe I'm waiting on a headshot from a client, something like that, right? I can assign a strategy. And actually, let's call this one, I'm going to use, let's do this one. Let's do social proof. Let's pretend that this is a testimonial from a client, right? So I can assign a strategy here. And if you don't know about strategy, you actually can create custom strategy themes within Plann to help you think about the content buckets that you want to create. So for example, I've customized all of mine. You can change the colors and the themes to fit your brand, but you can create things like behind the scenes, social proof, personal insights, whatever makes the most sense for your business as the content buckets that you want to assign or that you want to fill for your business. And then as you think about these captions, as you think about the things that you might want to post in the future, you can assign one of those content buckets, we call them strategy themes, to that caption. Create a post. This works for stories too, so thinking ahead on stories. And then let's say I'm not quite ready to think about where this fits on the grid. You know, maybe it's something that's going to be way in the future. It's not an immediate plan. I can create a caption ideas media collection and just drag and drop this content over there so that it's always ready to go whenever we get around to planning it, or when you're stuck, when you aren't quite sure what to post, you can just drag this guy over here. This is one I created earlier today. And then let's say I actually know now that I have, you know, let's take this piece of content. I know that this is part of my personal insight. I can just drag it right on top and it'll replace that. And then your caption and your theme will be matched up with that media, and it'll all become one post that you can then schedule. So this is a really great way for you to either, you know, create pre-made content that's ready to go, or create draft content, even with just a caption, save it for later. And then when you're ready to go, you can go in and assign, you know, the content that makes sense for that piece. So a couple of different ways you can think about it is, you know, planning your photos, your videos, your graphics, or just planning and saving your captions for later. Awesome. So I'm actually going to pause right there for a minute and see if anybody has any questions. I've seen a couple pop up and my team has fed me a few too. So let's talk through it. So regarding uploads, any plans to allow videos longer than 60 seconds? Our business utilizes some longer form Instagram TV content, IGTV content. So that's been a roadblock for us. Right now, our focus has really been on post-ready content. Meaning, you know, that auto postability and, you know, when you're manually posting to the grid, which is that 60 seconds limit. But in saying that, we know that video is a huge part of your social plan, and video editing and creation is something that is a big priority for us. So right now it's that 60-second limit, but that's definitely something that we're thinking about, and without giving too much away, video is going to be a big priority for us over the next couple of months. So hang tight. I know that that is, you know, something that we are looking at and seeing how we can incorporate into the product. Emma Kate says, once you use an image from the collection, does it stay in the collection or does it move off and onto the feed? Great question. So there's two different ways that you can use media from your collection. If you only want to use it once, you can drag and drop it immediately over to your grid. So it'll actually move it out from your media collection and onto the grid here. And you see it's no longer in this, this folder right here, this collection. However, if you want to use it a couple different times or maybe repurpose it, you can do that a couple different ways. So you can actually recreate a post right here using this drop down, or you can actually, from the create page, if you go and select media as your upload source, it'll create a copy onto your grid. So rather than completely remove it, it'll just go and pluck that piece of media out, assign it to the post that you're creating now. So let me see if I can find one that we can look at. It'll assign it to the piece of media you're creating now, and it won't remove it from that collection. It'll leave it there, and you can use it again in the future. So I'll use, again, this L&E wedding collection. Let's see if I can go find it. It may be running slow, so we may just have to go with that explanation, but hopefully that makes sense. So if you drag and drop it, it'll remove it. If you just use it as an upload source, it will stay put. Let's see if I can get out of here. All right, let's see. Allison says, nope, let's see. Allison says, team plan. I have an organizing workflow question. I can't figure out the easiest way to make things in Canva, download images from social squares, create and post to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram for my personal brand or my company. I know it's a confusing question. Hope it makes sense. Okay, so make things in Canva, download images from social squares, create and post for a personal brand and my company. So it sounds like, and Allison, feel free to jump in and correct me. It looks like Emma has also jumped in too. The order of best way to do it or more functionality of the app. Oh, amazing. Karina jumped in and dropped a social media workflow. I love using social squares content too. You'll see a lot of this content in here as social squares. I personally will go and think about creating a couple of collections from social squares. So I organize them into the types of galleries that I want to use in the future. And then you actually can also download out of Plann again if you need to. But that social media organization workflow hack that Karina and Emma, I think, shared will be super helpful, Allison, for you to run through and sort of figure out how to best think about content creation, uploading, and scheduling within Plann. So I'm going to actually leave that to that guide. I think that'll do a better job than I will. Lee says, can you add the notes to an individual photo or is it just the folder? So it will be for the entire folder right now. That said, you can create draft content or draft captions per piece of media in there. So let's say, for example, you don't have an entire gallery caption, or you do, but then you also want to add some notes for later per image. You actually can go in and click on the individual image, and then let's have it pull up. Once you click on it, it'll open to this page, and we'll say, you know, this is my individual note. We're just going to pretend I can type. This is my individual note, and we're going to then save it as a draft. When we do that, it'll save it back to the media collection so that you have it saved just to that image, and then you can use it again in the future. So it's basically like creating a draft post, but it'll actually save it into the collection rather than automatically adding it to your grid. So you'll have it as, you know, its own individual note. And then you can also still add a collection-wide note on top of that, and it'll add it to the bottom of your caption. So it won't overwrite what you just typed. It'll just add it on as an addition. Let's see, another question. What are different ways to organize content? I'm looking for ideas. Fantastic question. So a couple of different things. Let's use some different business ideas. So if you are an e-commerce seller, let's say, you can think about organizing your collection into a couple of different collection types. So for example, you might have a product line or a couple different product lines. You can create a collection per line. You also could create different collections for behind the scenes content, so maybe showing, you know, what your team is doing on a day-to-day basis. You know, packaging videos. People love seeing their stuff being packaged up behind the scenes, so you could create a collection of those. Maybe you have some launch graphics that you're creating on Canva. You could organize those into different collections so that you can really easily find it down the road. Let's say you're a service provider. So maybe you're a coach, or we can use the staging and design example. So you're going to have a couple different types of content, right? You're going to have some testimonials maybe from some of your previous clients and customers talking about, you know, a successful job with you, or, you know, successful learning. If you're a coach, you're going to have some things like maybe you have some tips of the week that you like to share. You could create collections around those with some graphics, some photos, things like that. Maybe you have, again, you have some team insights, or, you know, you want people to get to know the face behind the business. You could create some collections around that, behind the scenes kind of personal content. And again, I would say use your strategies to guide you on what types of collections to make. So if you have gone in and you've organized your content buckets, let that really guide the way on the media collections you create. So, you know, maybe create some around behind the scenes, social proof. You know, if you're doing sales You can organize them by date or by sale type. You can talk about the different types of promotions and keep those segmented out. Really, it's whatever makes the most sense for your business. But I would also think about what your strategy looks like for your business as a whole, and then organize your content accordingly. And if this is brand new to you, if you've never seen strategy before, this is a really great way for you, again, to think about, some placeholders for your business so that you can drag and drop content over. And you can create custom strategy themes within here. We give you a couple of default ones, but you can create a couple of custom strategy themes, give them a color that makes sense for your brand, and then you can save them and use them in the future. Or if you're ever really stuck and you just need some help, you can click this content prompts button and it'll populate an entire list of I think we have over 100 industries maybe, of different types of strategies that you can use, including things like hosting a giveaway or launching a sale. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get stuck thinking about what to post next. And this can be a really great place, just sort of a launch point for you to then, you can even mix and match these. So maybe you're an artist or an illustrator, but you also have an e-commerce store. You can mix and match a couple of different content themes and then fill in with your media from your media collection. So it can be a great way to plan ahead. Let's see some more. Where do I find media I've already published so I can use it again? Awesome question. So this is also a new feature that we've recently rolled out within the last week, which is we've introduced a published media collection. So let's say that you've posted a really incredible post to Instagram and it's performed incredibly well. And I am going to do a terrible job of showing this off because I didn't get it pre-populated, but go with me, guys. So when you have published some content through Plann, it'll show up in this published collection. And from there, you'll be able to hover over the content. You'll get a little drop down like this, and then you'll be able to recreate it for your LinkedIn page, for your Facebook, or post it to Instagram again. Maybe it did really well in posts and now you want to repurpose it for stories or vice versa. All of that is going to be stored in this published media collection. And you'll even be able to also find that on your mobile app. So it works both on web here at plann.com. It'll also work on your mobile app very similarly. You'll be able to hover over it, get your drop down, and choose where you want to recreate or cross-post that content after it's done really well for you. And again, and I see another question that says, how do I repurpose the same media across social media platforms? So you can toggle to different platforms within Plann, and that media will carry over. So we're thinking about this as brand media rather than platform-specific content, because we know that the last thing you want to do is upload something, 3 different times for Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So this is going to be your brand media, and you can use it across the board. So again, you see these same collections with the same tags popping up. You can really easily then just pull this media, drag it over to your Facebook grid or LinkedIn, and reuse that content across all the different platforms that Plann supports. Let's see, what else? Looking through our questions. Looks like we've pretty much gotten it. You will see here too, we do have a little mini calendar that you can look at what's coming up for the week so that you can plan accordingly. We also have this great grid preview so you can see what's coming up as well, even toggling down to scheduled versus all so you can see what content you've already planned out and assigned a schedule to versus what maybe is still in draft mode. But you'll also see this calendar here at the top so that you can get a quick preview of what's coming and even add posts and stories directly from here using this content, using the media that you have stored. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else that we could show you guys that would be really helpful. I mean, my personal favorite thing is that I can drag and drop content back and forth between the grids. So, maybe I moved something over and I've rearranged it, and I'm like, all right, this is looking good, but now this piece doesn't make any sense anymore. I can really quickly just pull it back over without deleting. And then when I'm ready to use it again, I just pull it right back over so that I can, really rearrange my grid however I want, get it really looking the way that I want, or just ditch stuff that's just not working and I want to hold it for later rather than completely removing it from my grid. And on your app, you'll actually be able to select the image and click move to media collections, and it'll move it off of your grid. So when you don't have the opportunity to actually pick it up and physically drag it over, you can still move it to a collection for later to save it. When I recreate from Instagram to then on our Facebook, it won't post. Is that something that's happening to other people too? Chloe, that doesn't sound quite right. So let's, if you haven't already, I would send in a message to our support team. So support@plannthat.com, and our CS team will be able to actually, I think Hannah popped in a note too. Amazing. You guys will be able to get support directly from them. It sounds like there might be a little bit of a, potentially a situation with the connection to Facebook. So we want to get that sorted for you, and our team will be able to jump in and do that really easily and quickly for you. Let's see, favoriting collections so that I'm using most of the current, yeah. So using the favoriting features, using the sort features, you'll be able to find your stuff really, really quickly and easily and add it to your grid in a really simple way. Awesome. Well, it looks like we have, okay, perfect, Chloe. That's awesome. Thank you for sending that email. That's honestly, if you guys ever have questions, we really want to help you guys out and get you an answer quickly and easily. The easiest way to reach us is always going to be that support@plannthat.com email, and our team of incredible customer success team members will be able to get you an answer really fast. Cool. So let's see, what else can I show you while we have you? A couple of other features have come out recently that I think you guys would be really interested in. If you are new to Plann, this may be something you've always seen, but if you've been around for a while, you know that there's a couple of quick or new features rather that are in relation to auto posting and tagging. So for example, let's say that I am ready to go with this post, my lovely caption, blah, 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 very important things. There's a couple of things that you can do with this content. So first of all, you can tag accounts. So this is brand new to the Plann. You can go ahead and tag accounts and get them ready to go for auto posting. So for example, I'm going to tag myself. Let's add Plann as well. If I can type, there we go. So let's say I want to tag these two accounts. Just like on Instagram, you can tag, drag those tags around. Let's say I want to remove this one. It was a mistake. Great, no big deal. You can just click it and it'll remove it. And then when you're ready, you can save those tags and you'll be ready to go for auto posting when you're ready to send it live over to Instagram. So you'll see auto post is toggled on and I can select the date and time that I want it to go. You also can add a first comment. So if you have saved some hashtag sets, or maybe you just want to type some hashtags directly, you can use your hashtag sets that you've saved and actually add them in as your first comment. So we all know that sometimes it's nice to be able to sort of bury those hashtags in a first comment rather than clog up your really important caption. You can do that here. So now when I have auto post turned on and I have that date and time scheduled ready to go, when it goes live on Instagram, it'll automatically post the image. It'll automatically post your caption. It'll also automatically tag those people where you assigned them on this image. And it'll automatically post your first comment so that everything is happening on autopilot and you can be there ready to interact with your audience and not have to worry so much about posting in real time. So this will be something that you can use for any auto postable content that you want to put out on Instagram. Let's see, can you show us again how to recreate and drag to LinkedIn or Facebook? Sure. So a couple different ways we can do it. Let's use this image because it's pretty identifiable. Let's say I want to use, I'm actually going to discard the changes on this so that we can move on. Let's say I want to take this image of the this little shirt and jeans and repost it over to LinkedIn. So I actually can click this drop down right here. I can recreate for my LinkedIn page. Success, it's been created. I'm going to toggle over to see it so I can show you guys. There we go. Awesome. This is my amazing caption that we typed earlier. And so now it's been recreated for LinkedIn, and it works all the different ways. As long as you have all of your accounts organized by, in one brand, you can share within that same brand. And so again, I can access my media collections from the LinkedIn side of things. It'll be all the same media. And then if I decide that, I want to continue to add to this grid, or maybe I want to pull this off, maybe this, wasn't quite right for LinkedIn after all, I can just move it back over to the grid so that everything is just really simple, drag and drop back and forth, and you can repurpose content accordingly. Let's see. Will there be a feature coming to share a post directly to stories when it's scheduled or automated? As soon as Instagram allows developers to auto post stories, we will be jumping all over that. I love automatic posting. I was so excited when we were able to bring that to you guys. And so as soon as stories are a possibility, we will definitely be bringing that into Plann. I will say, without giving too much away, we are thinking about how to help you automatically post to both Instagram and Facebook at the same time, because we know we have heard you. There's been awesome feedback on that feature, and we would love to be able to provide that for you. So that will be coming soon. Stay tuned. But stories, unfortunately, are going to be an Instagram limitation, and as soon as they open those doors, we will be all over it. Let's see. Awesome. Do we have any other questions, or maybe even things that I didn't show you but you would love to know more about? We do have some time. Awesome. Heidi, I did see you asked a question about hashtags, and Emma, I think from our team, dropped the hashtag guide. So I definitely would look into that, and that'll help guide you on the best hashtags to use. And then you can save those into your hashtag sets here in Plann, and then use them in your caption or your first comment. So we can look at those. Is Pinterest still in the cards? So great question. We are always looking for new platforms to support, and Twitter, I see a question about that too. We're always looking for new platforms to support. So we actually have been running some surveys in the product and asking you guys what you want to see next. And we're using that feedback to figure out which direction we go for the platform. So if you have a platform that you really want to see, that you use really well, or that you love using for your brand, let us know, because we will use that feedback to decide which direction we go next. But definitely trying to think about ways that we can support you across all the different platforms. And I'll actually say we have an ability now. So let's say we don't support a platform. For example, let's say you use TikTok for your brand. We don't support TikTok yet. That might be something that comes in the future as we evaluate different platforms. But you can use custom calendar events to plan out content for platforms that we don't even support. So for example, let's say you're thinking about, you have an Instagram post that you want to go out on a certain date, and you want to also make sure you don't forget to post post that TikTok right at the same time. You can create a custom calendar event. We're actually going to create one and call it TikTok. And we're going to give it this really vibrant blue color, so that's easy to spot. So we're going to create a TikTok event. We're going to call it, I don't know, transformation video. And we're going to select a date and time. We could even attach the media. So we could attach that video that we've already filmed and it's ready to go for TikTok. We could even add a couple of notes about that post so that we don't forget what we wanted to say in the caption, or maybe use this even internally to communicate with your team about what this means. And then you can create that event on your calendar. And when you're ready to go and you're ready to use it, you actually can go in and you can download the media that you have added here and use it on TikTok, or maybe, you know, Pinterest, Twitter, things like that. You can go ahead and organize that content alongside your existing plan and, you know, upload, download things out of Plann so that it all stays together. So that's just one way that you can do it. While we may not support the platform that you want currently, this is a great way for you to still plan out your entire media plan ahead of time. You also, a lot of people don't know, but you can actually drag and drop from your grid over to your calendar. So let's say I want to schedule this piece of content for this particular time. I just drag and drop it over from the grid. You see it already toggled on this auto post because I have auto posting turned on for this particular account, but I can still go in and edit it and change the caption, change the theme, you know, all the different pieces that I might want to customize. I still have that ability, but it's a really quick and easy way for you to plan content without having to think about, what is next Tuesday when I want to plan that out? I just drag and drop it straight over. So you could take a piece of media from your media collection, drag it to the grid, and then even drag it straight onto the calendar so you have a visual representation of your plan coming up. Yeah, Christy said, we use this calendar feature to plan our entire marketing strategy at Plann. Absolutely. We are using our own products. So, you know, we are thinking about better ways that we can serve you guys while we're thinking through, you know, maybe challenges and opportunities that we have with our own marketing efforts. So, yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, we are coming up on right about 45 minutes. I want to make sure that we use everybody's time really, really well. Let's see, there might be one or two more questions. Feel free to drop them into the chat so we make sure we get to them, whether it's about media or the calendar, anything that we can help you guys with while you're here. I would love to answer them for you and help you out. One question I see is around caption creation. So we do have a Plan with Plann coming up on Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and it's going to be with Greta from our team and also Emma Norris, who's a content creator, and they're going to talk you through how to think about the types of content you're posting, the types of captions you might want to include, and ways that you can sort of get unstuck and get going with your content strategy. So definitely tune in Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Plan with Plann. And if you haven't signed up for our email list, that's a great way to make sure that you're on top of all of it. I think all of you guys are on there, but just in case, make sure you sign up for the newsletter. You'll get all that great information. Follow us at Plann That on Instagram, and you'll get updates about upcoming events. And definitely make sure that you tune in, because these are going to be awesome little nuggets of wisdom on how to create content and captions for your brand. Awesome. Good deal. I am going to stop sharing my screen here and come back over. Great. Well, I so appreciate, again, all of you tuning in. I would love to keep hearing your feedback. Feel free to send it to us. Like I said, any type of survey response that we get, or message about product suggestions, feature suggestions that our support team gets, we get all of those directly. Those all get sent directly to me, and I take in every bit of feedback and fit it into the larger plan, and really am using that to help guide what features we bring to you guys. So if you have any suggestions, feature suggestions, questions around better ways to use Plann, feel free to write in, because we will take those and either help get you an answer, or we'll take it and consider it for our future product roadmap. So it's incredible. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. And like I said, tune in to Plan with Plann. where you can learn more about content creation and captions. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys. Talk soon. Bye.